Hey everybody, my name is Christy and I am a part-time Poshmark reseller. You can find my Poshmark closet at Betty Chic 1116. If you're on Instagram, you can also follow me there at Betty Chic Boutique. And if you like the content of today's video, I would encourage you to please click the thumbs up button for me, or you can also click the little bell and subscribe to my channel so you will always be notified of any future videos that I put out. And I try to put out a video like every Monday with either different tips and tricks for Poshmark selling and reselling, or thrift haul videos or things like that. So that's typically the kinds of content that you will find here on my channel. But today, what we're going to be talking about is actually not about Poshmark. I'm going to be talking about why I am making the decision to start reselling on eBay. And it's been kind of a journey for me. So the first thing that I really wanted to do was get good at selling on Poshmark, because there are a lot of different nuances around selling on Poshmark that I thought was really important to get that right. So you know, I see a lot of other resellers who sell on multiple different platforms, and I knew that at some point I wanted to expand my reach, specifically around my clothing reselling, and branch out. And so of all of the places that seemed to make the most sense for me, after doing some research, eBay was the one I kept coming back to. And there are some definite pros, I think, to selling on eBay. And this is specific to eBay, so not saying eBay is better than Poshmark. It's a supplement to Poshmark. Poshmark is still my primary platform and where I'm focusing most of my attention. But there were some reasons that I really thought it would be useful to my business to start cross-listing over onto eBay. So the first thing being that eBay has far more people that are on eBay looking for things than on Poshmark. And so simply having more eyes on my items, I thought would be useful in potentially, upping the number of sales that I would have on a weekly basis. So I just know there are more people there than there are on Poshmark. So it's a good place to be. The second thing is that there are less fees that are collected from eBay than Poshmark. Poshmark's 20% is pretty steep, and it isn't as noticeable, perhaps. I mean, on lower cost items for sure, it's noticeable, but I just sold a Louis Vuitton handbag today. It's a handbag that I bought a couple of months ago when I was thrifting. I actually bought it for myself. I had every intention of keeping it, but then, I always come back to, I buy things to sell things. And that was something that I had as something that was a personal item of mine that I knew I could get a significant amount of money for. And it's being the holidays, going into the new year, not a bad thing to have some extra money in my bank account. Because my why, if you go back to one of my earlier videos, my why of why I am doing this side hustle to begin with is because I'm looking to pay down debt. So I bought this gorgeous Louis Vuitton handbag. I bought it at one of my local consignment shops a couple of months ago. I did carry it for a couple of months, but it was the Alma style. And so it was just the hand straps, and it could maybe go over my arm onto my elbow, but there was no crossbody strap or anything like that. And the way that my life operates, I always seem to have a bunch of bags, a bunch of things in my hands. I have, an almost 3-year-old toddler that I'm, running after. And I found that just having a bag that just had the, the handles or the hand straps and, going on my arm, it didn't work as well for me as I was really hoping, considering this is the first time in my life I had a Louis Vuitton bag. And so I tell you all of this because I did get it on sale. I had purchased it, like I said, full price from my local consignment shop, and then I had a 20% off coupon, so I was able to get that bag for a really good price. But then when I went to go, of course, sell it on Poshmark, there was some emotional connection to it because of the amount of money that I had spent on it, and knowing that Poshmark was going to take 20% off of what I was also, potentially making. What happens is I ended up selling the bag for what I bought the bag for at the store, but I'm actually losing money at the end of the day because of that 20% cut that Poshmark takes. That hurt, I have to say. And so if there is any platform out there, and I think every other platform out there takes less than 20% what Poshmark does, and granted, there are a lot of great things about Poshmark that can make it worth the 20%, no doubt about it, but that hurt. And so having other platforms available to me like eBay, where they don't charge as much in terms of the seller fees, I really like that. So less fees than Poshmark. There is no social selling component to eBay. So we know you can be spending hours every day on Poshmark, sharing to all of the parties, sharing your closet multiple times a day, especially when you start reaching the number of listings that I have available on Poshmark. So I'm at about 650 right now. And my goal is to be, when I get all of these things listed that I have here behind me and more that I have in bags and boxes and things around, I should be closer to about 750 listings. If I was the one that had to do that every day, share my closet, share all of my listings, share it 3 times a day, which is, you know, kind of the best practice recommendation for sharing, that is over an hour, probably closer to 2 hours of my time every day that I would be just sharing my listings. And that's my own personal listings. That doesn't include sharing anybody else's stuff. That doesn't include doing any following and things like that. All requirements to help juice the Poshmark algorithm in your favor that we all do each and every day. So I did, you know, outsource that piece of my business to a virtual assistant back in June, but I still share myself to every party because my virtual assistant doesn't do that. They just share my closet. So they share my closet multiple times a day. So at the specific parties, I'm sharing specific items out of my closet to the parties. I'm still doing that. I'm still doing my own following and things like that. So there is still a social selling component to Poshmark that I am doing each and every day. On eBay, none of that. None of that is applicable. None of that is required. You set the listing. You can even set things so it will automatically relist. And I did open up a basic eBay store. So I did take that step. I got 3 months for free to try that out. So hands down, I was going to do that. Set it and forget it in a way. That is a beautiful thing when you think about the amount of time that you have available, especially me as a part-time seller. Like, I have to be really thoughtful about where I'm spending my time. So that was, of course, that's the third big benefit of looking to sell on eBay, is that there's no social selling component required. Put up your listings, set it, and forget it. And then the last thing being, I mentioned that I'm using eBay still to sell clothing, and that is by far going to be and continue to be my primary focus in my business. But I can list anything on eBay. You know, I can list a lot of different items, some stuff that I have from other side hustles I've done, things that I have around my house that I'm just looking to get rid of, that Facebook Marketplace is not the best, it's not working for me or whatever. I can sell whatever I want on eBay. And there is a great appeal about that, of course, once you figure out how the eBay platform works. And, you know, as you think about that, I'm going to go into some of the things that are potentially downsides about selling on eBay. And a big component of that, and one of the reasons that I was really scared to kind of take that leap into eBay, was around shipping. Poshmark makes shipping so easy for us. You know, the seller or the buyer pays their shipping usually. You get your label in the mail or in your email and you're done. Stick it on your package, good to go. On eBay, it's a bit different for sure. And so one of the things that is a very big requirement is I got this shipping scale. I found it on eBay for $25 with free shipping. Beautiful thing. And what I really liked about this particular scale as compared to other scales that I have had in the past is that the little scale piece, you can pull that apart from the core body of your scale. So you can put things on the scale, especially if they're bigger items, and you can still pull this to the side to be able to see what the weight is. So this just happens to be the scale that I picked up. There are other options out there, but this takes some of the scariness out of eBay shipping. And so far, all I've been doing is just printing off or buying the labels from eBay. There is like a small discount by buying them through eBay. I know there are other sellers out there who use things like Pirate Ship and other services to be able to ship their packages. Maybe someday that's what I'll look into too, but right now I'm trying to keep it as easy as possible. I'm trying to take as much complexity out of the shipping process, which is slightly different on eBay than it is on Poshmark, and was one of the reasons that I kind of stayed away from eBay before. But I'm in it now, and that is just something I'll continue to learn and be better about, but it's something that is going to take some time to really learn the most effective way to do shipping. Then I'd say I've got it written down, my stuff written down on my Post-it note. I always make notes before these videos to make sure I don't forget anything. eBay descriptions, in order for them to, you know, they say to get in the most searches as far as, you know, people looking on eBay for your items. They ask for a lot more information than what you have to put on Poshmark. I mean, you look at the Poshmark listing when you do one of those listings, and it is so simple compared to doing a listing on eBay. Because on eBay, you're putting all sorts of things like, you know, the material, the occasion, the neckline, the sleeve length, you know, and the print that's on there, all of these things that you can add to your listing that help you come up when people are doing searches for those things. So the listings themselves are a lot more in depth than what you have on Poshmark. And then you also have to be really careful around selecting things when you're looking at your shipping, your processing time. I'm starting to select now having immediate payment when somebody purchases one of my items on eBay. I'm not sure if that detracts people or not, because they have to pay right away. We'll see. The fact that it was there, it's something that I thought took some complexity again out of the process. So I'm not waiting for people to pay for things. So they have to pay right away, but there are a lot more things on the eBay listing that you just have to be aware of. So that is one of the things that could be a detractor if you're looking about or thinking about selling on eBay. And then I'd say the last thing, and it's more of a nuance, and I've seen this in other resellers' videos as well, is that you really want to know your audience. You know, one of the resellers that I saw a video on recently, she sells her more mature clothing items, things from like Talbots and Chico's and places like that. She said those things sell better for her on eBay than they do on Poshmark. Poshmark is more of the trendy, newer things. So I'm starting to do some experimenting with just seeing if items sell better on one platform or not. I don't have anywhere near the type of data sample size that I need to make any kind of conclusion that way, but I am conscientious of the fact that some things may sell better on Poshmark and some things may sell better on eBay. And it's one of those things that you just gotta try it and you have to experiment with it until you figure out what is going to work for you and your business. So that is, you know, that's just, again, something that's going to take some time, take some analysis, and just have to pay some focused attention to it as I continue to sell on eBay. So having said all of that, where am I at right now? I started selling on eBay at the beginning of December with zero expectations as far as how it was going to go for me. I mean, right now I'm just hoping to sell things and get feedback so that, because they hold your funds right away. When you're a new seller on eBay, your funds are not immediately available. They hold them for something like 21 days. I ship out right away, and I think that really helps in getting my funds released sooner than that 21 days. But nonetheless, there is a hold time if you start selling on eBay and you don't have any feedback and things like that. So just something to be aware of. So I started at the beginning of December. I have 28 active listings on eBay. So 2 of them, I think I was trying the auction feature. The rest of them are all buy it now type items. Out of those, and so 28 active listings on eBay versus the 650 that I have on Poshmark. I'm being really thoughtful about what I'm cross-listing so that I am maximizing my potential to be able to sell things more quickly. 28 active items. I've sold 4 things so far on eBay. which I'm delighted about because again, I went into the month with zero expectations. I just want to get positive feedback, you know, for these sales so that well, actually what I just sold over the weekend, that actually funds were released to me right away. So I must have hit some kind of mark with eBay that I'm an okay seller now. But so sold 4 things, and I have so far my gross earnings are $129.15. So that's not too shabby for 4 items. I mean, as far as my average cost of sale, it's actually significantly better than Poshmark, but that's because there were 2 items that I sold here. One was a Coach trifold wallet, and then the other one was a Harley Davidson logo hooded sweatshirt that was new with tags. Both of those sold for full price, so that was fantastic. That's what makes up the majority of that $129.15. So I will continue to sell on eBay. I've had great results, in my opinion, so far for me as a part-time reseller. And as I learn more, as there are more things to share, of course, I'm going to share it with you as well. I would love to hear more about your experiences selling on eBay, or if you haven't sold on eBay, what is kind of holding you back from selling on eBay? If there are certain questions or anything like that that people have, I would be happy to either address them or do some research to find we can all learn together. So again, my name is Christy. I'm a part-time seller on now Poshmark and eBay. Betty Chic 1116 on Poshmark, Betty Chic Boutique over on eBay. If you like the content of this video, again, please click the thumbs up button or hit the little bell to subscribe, and you'll be notified of all of my future videos. And as this video is being posted right before Christmas, for everyone out there, happy holidays until we talk again next Monday. I hope everyone's well. Can't wait to hear from you. See you later. Bye-bye.